Alright, Evening Junkies, welcome to EminiJunkie.com, your ES Trading Mentor's free trading video for Monday, May 24th, 2010. Today we had a total of 12 executable trade signals for a max potential of 61 ES ticks. This video is for educational purposes only, is intended to highlight our high probability trade setups, give you a feel for the quantity of trades taken each trading day using this approach. A full trading plan and daily live trading room can be accessed via our website at EminiJunkie.com. Okay, this morning we actually had a pre-market half gap trade set up for us, and that fired right before 8:40 or so this morning, and that did produce targets 1 and targets 2 to the upside for 21 ticks as we filled our theoretical pre-morning half gap. And then we actually had the open at 1079.50. The market continued to higher and finally came back down through our moving average, kind of traded along the opening price a little bit there, and gave us a signal to get short. It was a late signal because of just the way that the price action was trading this morning. We got our first contract off, and we didn't immediately move down towards the pivot on that first move. Actually ended up getting stopped out on our second contract over here. So that first official trade of the morning was a 2-tick stop out. And then we did not get a valid signal due to the position of our gold moving average for a long, but we had a reset. We had a signal to get short, and that did produce targets 1 and targets 2 to the downside for 10 ticks. Coming off that short, we came back up through our moving average, got a signal to get long, went right over us on that trade. That was a full stop out. T0, 14 ticks as the market moved down, gave us the full stop out. But right as that stop out was happening, we got another signal to get short, and then that did produce a small target of 1 and target 2 for 6 ticks to the downside on that particular trade. Coming off of that small winner there, we came back up through our moving average, actually had an extension long, and that did produce targets 1 and targets 2 to the upside for 9 ticks off of that extension, and that has to do with that fast moving price action as the market continued to push higher. Went up, eventually closed our 415 gap, went up to the overnight session, the Globex session high, pierced that by a tick or so, found some resistance there, came back down through our moving average, gave us an extension to the short side, which produced targets 1 and targets 2 to the downside for 8 ticks, and then the market kind of consolidated sideways for a little bit, came back up through the moving average. Again, due to where price action was in relationship to the upside, we had no opportunity to get long, but we did get a reset of signals, and we traded to the downside, and we came off of a quick little reaction here right as it was coming through the moving average. Ended up giving us a decent anchor for a target 1 and target 2 for 7 ticks to the downside, and that was pretty much it for the morning session. Between 11:30 and 1:15, that's this red area you see on my chart here, we do not initiate any new trades. We call that the lunchtime dead zone, and we do not take on anything new, but we do take trades right as lunchtime's ending, and today was a perfect example of that. We had a trade setting up. We actually had an extension to the downside, and right as the 1:15 hour broke, we were still in the price area where we could take that short, and that produced targets 1 and targets 2 to the downside for 7 ticks, coming right off of lunch. Price immediately traded back up to the moving average. Did not give us a signal long. We came real close for a signal to go to long side, but it did not quite generate. Subsequently, no signal to the downside. We're just kind of waiting for things to happen here. Finally got a move up through our moving average that actually gave us what would appear to be a signal long, but again, price in relationship to our gold line, we weren't allowed to take that long trade, kept us out of a potential loser there. The market did re-signal, refire to the short side, gave us a little micro swing, micro target, 7 ticks to the downside, right there at the 2:30 reversal time. And coming out of that reversal time, we actually did come through our moving average. We did get a valid signal to get long right about 2:37 or so. Unfortunately for us, price ran right over top of us, no chance to even get our first contract off. That ended up being a full stop out to the downside as price moved back down to the moving average. But so many times that happens after a full stop out, it set us up for a nice swing, a nice pullback to our moving average, gave us a beautiful entry, and we ended up hitting targets 1 and targets 2 to the downside for 16 ticks. So all in all, a pretty fantastic Monday. Great start to the week, coming off of a large week of volatility we had last week. We ended up with 12 trades today for 61 ES ticks. I want to thank you for watching. For more details on this plan, including all the chart setups, or to join our live trading room or video newsletter, please visit EminiJunkie.com or simply click the link at the top of the screen. Thanks, and make it a great day.